See if this story sounds familiar. You have some important training to introduce to your frontline reps and managers. Maybe it's a new promotion or new selling process. Whatever it is, you expect it to drive good results to your top and bottom line. So now it's time to effectively communicate these changes to your reps and managers. And that's a big catch-22, because pulling people out of the field for training, while very effective, is also really expensive. And your remote options might be more efficient, but they're not very effective, using tired tactics that high-performing reps and managers have grown desensitized to. But whatever combination of these you use, science is still working against you, because without a reinforcement strategy, your employees forget most of the training anyway. The desired behaviors and outcomes won't happen, and your initiative will be at risk. Signature Worldwide has invested heavily in programs that protect your training investment to make sure your training sticks. One of these investments is an innovative technology we call Signature Q-Tips. Signature Q-Tips applies the proven brain science of interval reinforcement, otherwise known as the spacing effect. Simply stated, Q-Tips spaces brief review and practice sessions over a recurring schedule, resulting in faster, more predictable, and more sustainable performance improvement. Q-Tips uses an app that gets loaded onto PCs, tablets, and smartphones, so employees can review the important content when and where it's most convenient. So here are some highlights on how it all works. As the Q-Tip schedule releases a new review session, each user is notified using cut-through technology. The notification comes directly from our app, cutting through email clutter to ensure each user stays engaged in the process each week. Reps like that each review session is brief and brilliant, breaking content into relevant nuggets that are easily consumed in their spare time out in the field. Q-Tips applies retrieval practice, situational learning, space learning, and other proven brain science, establishing a continuous discipline and cadence that drives more training benefit each and every week. And Q-Tips provides a lot more than just a training completion checkmark, letting you manage what you measure. Reports measure knowledge and skill gaps by user, by team, and by location. So you know what is sticking, you know what's improving, and you also know what requires more attention and coaching. So now that we've talked about it, let's see what a day in the life of a user looks like. Q-Tips is a blue icon located in the user's task tray. As new review sessions are released on a schedule, each user will receive a push notification like this. I can launch today's session just by clicking on it, and it'll launch a browser. There are 3 items in today's session. First one is a reinforcement question. So it asks me the question, I select my answer, and I answer correctly, and I read my feedback. Go on to the next item. This item's a tip. A tip could be a case study, a best practice. It also can have embedded documents or audio and video. So I read through my tip and I move on to the next item, which is a situational question. It says, when the buyer says, I like what I hear, but I need to think it over, the best response is, and I'll look through my responses and select what I think is the best one. So I answered this one incorrectly. This is an important learning moment, and a lot of different things happen at this point. First of all, I receive feedback on what the right answer should have been. I receive context so I can learn more about the right answer. And also a few more things happens. Q-Tips remembers that I didn't understand this topic, so it makes a point of rescheduling delivery of this topic on future dates. And it is through repetition that leads to user mastery. And once the user has mastered the topic, Q will actually record that improvement in retention as well. So it took me a few minutes to explain, only takes a few minutes out of your rep's day. It's brief and brilliant. I can go back on the job. The user experience on a smartphone or tablet, whether it's Apple, Android, BlackBerry, is identical. So the user has the app loaded to their device. They get a cut-through notification when they have new content to review. They launch it, they go ahead and answer their questions, read their feedback, review their tips, answer questions, and complete their queue. So in summary, Q-Tips uses cut-through technology to drive the highest user engagement available. And if your users aren't engaged, you're not going to get the benefit. Secondly, Q automates brain science, creating a discipline and weekly cadence of continuous improvement. And last, Q provides valuable metrics that validate your training and show you what's sticking while providing leading indicators so you can proactively address what's not. Interested in using Q-Tips as your reinforcement strategy for your next signature campaign? Let us know. Thanks.